Good evening, Floss Tube. It is January 1st, 2019. If you are like me, it is hard to believe that this is the beginning of our new year, but what exciting prospects for all of us as we look ahead. I am back to filming in my kitchen, and the good news is I think I have a better camera. You'll have to let me know if you can tell a difference in the quality. And I have a lot to share, so I hope you're comfortable and have some time to sit down and enjoy catching up a bit. Since Christmas, I have been like a child with a new toy because my husband purchased the needlework frame that I had selected, and I'm going to show you all the pieces, all the parts, everything it does. And the good news is this particular frame was on sale on Amazon for $37.99, which is in my budget. And so he ordered this particular one, and guys, I don't see a need for a more expensive one. I'm sure there are things that are much better as far as features are concerned, but I'm thrilled to have this, and for now I'm quite happy with it. It is made by Frank Edmonds, and it is called the Handi-Clamp needlework frame. And the one that we purchased has 3 scroll frames. I'm going to show you the smallest one first. So it would hold a project this small. I can't show you the sidebars because they are attached to another project, but the fabric goes around these dowels, and you just use the Handi-Clamp, which is a lot like a Q-snap to hold the fabric, and then you turn it both ways to get your tension. And when you see the way this one is set up, you'll understand how this works. The hard thing about these is to get the plastic thing off, but no worse than a Q-snap. So that's the small one. This is the medium size one, and you'll see it as it is here. These are the side frames, and you see our sidebars, and these little knobs are what unscrew and screw back on to tighten and loosen. So you see the width of the medium size one. My Riola's apples are going to fit on here perfectly, but they have, I would imagine, maybe 1 or 2 squares of Ada too wide. So I'm going to measure and hopefully trim off just that much on one side, and then I'll be able to roll it and get the tension that I want. So this is the medium size, and then I have my large one set up to show you, and I hope that I can get this out. It is on a stand, so this is going to be cumbersome, but you can see this is the large frame, and you can see how it attaches, oh goodness, to my stand. I had gotten this Edmonds stand on 75% off clearance at Michael's a year or 2 ago, and had really never used it. And this is just, it's a toy. I'm having fun. So you can tell that it's good tension because this fabric is narrower than our dowels. And this just loosens, and you slip it up under here. I need to get some batting, quilt batting, to protect my fabric. Then these here adjust for the angle of your stitching. And then the stand also is too hard to show you here. It also adjusts for level here. And then, is there a height adjustment? I believe there is a height adjustment. Maybe you have to do it here. But it is very adjustable. My only concern is that you have to loosen this handle to get to the back of your work. But I'm getting a pretty good groove where I just loosen, flip it up, end my thread, put it back. So I'm getting pretty fast at that. And I'm definitely getting faster at two-handed stitching because of this. Now, I did want to remind you of the project I was working on that is on the large frame. It is my big toe, the Apostles' Creed, and it is on 28 count linen that is antique white. The floss is Gentle Art Midnight, which I have shown you before, and I would love to show you the piece again. Let me get it. Excuse me for fiddling here. I'm going to get it out of the frame so that you, or out of the stand, so that you can see it. Should have done this. There we go. So here we are. 3 lines done, and I do think this has made it faster. I wish I had something white to put behind this. I hope you can see. Now, I am well aware of the fact that this piece is going to seem bland and boring because it is done with one color of floss. But for my purposes and where I want to display it with my other Long Dog sampler that is also monochromatic, this is just what I wanted to do, and it will be very readable and very lovely. And on this particular pattern, there will be at the top some lovely border, and also on the bottom. So if I get too bored with Midnight, I can go to my needlework store and get a complimentary blue to do the borders in. But I have plenty of time for that because this is a large, large piece. But I will keep plugging away. I am working from the middle up, so I'm hoping to start right here next. If this is halfway, oh my goodness, lots of work left to do on this one. But the scroll frame and the stand have made this so much faster. Now my other project that I am working on, and I mentioned it to you last video, is the one I started when I had a finish, and it is the beautiful Thea Governor Byzantine icon called Mother of God. And I told you before that I was going to be organized for this project because you can see that many of the colors are close in, well, they're just close to each other. And I didn't want to have a difficulty with that again. So I'm going to show you what I have been working on since I have been off work to make this better organized. I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought this little thread organizer booklet. So all this is a hardcover for the front and back and big rings. It's just called the poly bag system, but it will be easy to carry around. And I have done one set of the poly bags, filled 136 color set. Just putting, can you see, just putting the emblem on here. And I will be taking this off the small ring and putting it, of course, on the big ring. These are the flosses that this calls for. And you know, some of them, there may only be one hank of floss, but others, there is a good bit. Let me find one that has a lot. Here we go. So they will always be where they're supposed to be. Now, I told you I was using my Paco needle organizer, and I am. But it scared me that if something got pulled out of the needle, I wouldn't be able to tell which color it was. So what I've got to do is figure out how many of these symbols I want to put on here, and then get that many needles. And if I lose the thread, I should be able to match it with the bag of floss, which will then lead me to be able to stitch that symbol. Does that make any sense at all? But so far that's been working well. I just need to load more needles. What I had been working with, and I don't know how to show you this mess, was this. So this is how she sends you the floss. And of course this is just part of one because I have put a lot of these in bags. But you can see how scary it would be if these pulled out of their little holes and you had no clue what color they were. And there are so many flosses. Oh my goodness, look at this one. And then here's the biggest one. So I'm working on getting those put into the little poly bags. They were out of the 36 pack after I bought this one, So I got a 24 pack. And with your 40% off coupon, they are way inexpensive. They're only $1.99 to start with. And that includes little rings. And I believe the booklet covers were maybe $3.99. So, wonderful system. I think it will help me so much. And then I took the graph to Staples, and I'm not going to show you this for very long. I don't think it will do you any good. But I took this to Staples. There are 4 large pages, and I'll just show you quickly. And I had him copy those 4 pages for me so that I can use a colored pencil and mark where I have stitched. So I should be on my way with this project. And as I told you, it will be my Haid, since I do not have a Haid, but it is full coverage. See if I can show you just a little of what I've done. And this is on my fanny frame, and it has worked really well. I still love my fanny frame. It's just that I needed a place for other projects. So you can see that I'm at the bottom of the first page, and I'm filling in with that second color. This is 18 count Aida, Zweigart, I believe. Or it may just be the Aida that is made there in Amsterdam. It comes with the governor. So again, I'm doing two-handed stitching on this one and continue to find this very relaxing. So busy, busy, busy. Now that I go back to work tomorrow, there will be less time for stitching, but at least I have 2 priority projects, actually 3. Yes, for sure. Now, let me tell you about the highlight of my time in Scotland, other than the time we spent with our daughter for her graduation. We went to the National Museum of Scotland and found on the signs that advertised the new displays that they were having a special display of Scottish samplers, antique Scottish samplers. Well, it would be embarrassing to have videoed the happy dance I danced on the sidewalk there when I saw the sign. So, since the National Museum of Scotland is free, what a bargain. I think I went back 3 times to view these beautiful samplers, and I tried to take pictures so that I would not have to buy the book. But at the end of the time there, I went back and looked at this book, and I thought, this is Christmas. I need to be able to come back and refer to this and read. Oh, people, it was the most beautifully done display, all in one room. All the samplers were either hung on the wall or in cases, and there were all kinds of samplers, but they have been collected by an American who is trying to get a sampler from every county, is it called county of Scotland? But everything from a rich sampler like this to a more unusual sampler like this. There was even one done by a young boy, which was amazing. Most had been done by young girls or women, and I had hoped I could find the one that was just exquisite. We looked and we were speechless. It was so beautiful. Well, now this is not the one I'm speaking of, but if you will look at the detail in that beautiful sampler, and to stand that close to someone else's work and look at what had gone into it. Many of these had been done with silks, some with wool. All of them she explained as to fabric, age of stitcher, everything you need to know. Okay, this was my husband's favorite, and this does not do it justice. The colors were so much richer and more vibrant. But isn't that amazing? And of course the thistles, because of Scotland. Some of these were huge, some were much smaller. I'm trying. Okay, this is one of the larger ones, and it was done by an orphan, I believe, in Edinburgh. and to know all this history about each sampler. So I spent a lot of happy hours staring and reading and enjoying. Here is a very basic one. This gives you an idea of the simpler ones. And even that is lovely. This one with the reds. So it will be a lifetime to read over these and enjoy understanding what was put into these. This was another grand one. Oh my goodness. I hope you can see a little bit of this. So I will thoroughly enjoy this book, and so much history. This I love. Someone actually stitched the multiplication table. I cannot imagine having a child do that. And this one was rather small. So if you're ever over in Scotland, the National Museum is in Edinburgh. It is well worth your visit. Of course, the samplers won't still be there, but you will not be disappointed in your time there. Just a lovely, lovely place to go, and you never know what exhibit you'll find. Now, 2 more points of interest, and in my next video, I will be showing as much as I can of my plans for 2019, as well as my Mora Blackburn sampler. I did not bring it out today, but I did want to quickly tell you that my book for the new year was recommended by my grandson, my oldest grandson. And of course, I've read this book on my own. I've read it aloud to my own children. But for him to say, Nana, you need to read Heidi again. So I've read 1 chapter and part of the second, and what a lovely story. What a beautiful character Heidi is. And this particular edition is illustrated by Jessie Wilcox Smith. If you're familiar with children's illustrators from long ago, you will appreciate her beautiful illustrations. So I will keep you posted on Heidi and how we spend time together as we read this January. And then the last thing, we've all had too much holiday, I'm sure, and lots of good food and beverage. But the week of Christmas, we visited a shop in Grapevine, Texas called the Spice and Tea Exchange. And we were looking for a gift for a special friend who loves black tea, breakfast blend. And I splurged and bought this one for us here at home. It is a loose tea, all of theirs are. And I didn't realize I still had this much in here. This is a black tea, but it is called chocolate candy cane tea. People, this is delicious. I have so enjoyed this tea. I'm trying to drink more tea in the new year. I know it's good for me. But for the holiday and for the cold weather, what a beautiful, beautiful tea. I wish I could share the aroma with you right now and just tell you what a soothing brew that is to sit down with. And just Christmas and winter for sure, chocolate candy cane. It even has, and I wish I could show you, maybe you can see right there, the little pieces of peppermint. Where is it? You cannot see that very well. Maybe you can. So a beautiful, beautiful loose tea that has been so relaxing for the cold weather and for the holiday. What a year we have before us. Let me ask you to let me know how you are. Comment. If you have not subscribed, please do. I would love to have some new subscribers on board. If you are a new subscriber, thank you for coming, for pushing that button, and for coming to see what's going on. I love to share everything I can about my cross stitch. Sometimes some crochet, almost always something about books, and any life updates that I feel would be encouraging or interesting to you. But Happy New Year. Come back to see me soon. Hopefully in another week I'll have organized the plans for 2019 and I can bring that to show you. And Also, let me know if you can tell a difference with the new camera, if you think it's worth it. And I will be back very soon. Also, we'll be watching all of your plans for 2019 and your end of year updates. So, see you soon. Thank you for coming.